most of you have probably figured out, sex has become a very huge part of the media in all of the movies and TV shows that we love to watch. In fact, 15,000 sexual acts or implications are seen by teenagers every year. And there's no difference between actually seeing sex in the media versus hearing conversations about sex in the media. They both have negative effects on our minds as teenagers. And that is why it is so important that you as parents be involved in the decisions that we make concerning the movies and the TVs that we watch. Teenagers are like Jell-O, and if you pull them out of the fridge too soon, things get messy, and they run all over the place with decisions, and it just becomes a huge disaster. So if you wait until we are solid and mature enough to make those decisions on our own, then you will save us a lot of heartache in the future. As well, we as teenagers are at a critical developmental period during which attitudes towards sex are being shaped. As we take in all of the sex that is given to us in the media, we are beginning to form ideas and thoughts about sex based on what the media is showing us. This gives us a distorted view of what sex really is, and we come to the conclusion that sex is a cultural norm. When this happens, we lose sight of the fact of what God says about sexual immorality and how wrong it is for us to engage in those sexual behaviors. And even though we may not engage in sexual behaviors, we become immune to the sex that is going on around us, the conversations about sex, things that our friends are doing. We just end up accepting it and forgetting that God has told us that sexual immorality is wrong. The Apostle Paul tells us in Ephesians chapter 5, verses 3 and 4, "But among you there must not be even a hint of sexual immorality or of any kind of impurity or of greed, because these are improper for God's holy people, nor should there be obscenities, foolish talk, or coarse joking, which are out of place, but rather thanksgiving." When we absorb all of the sex that is in the media and we start to accept it as a cultural norm, we find ourselves engaging in that coarse joking or that foolish talk, which the Bible says is improper for God's holy people. We find ourselves laughing at it or even engaging in conversations ourselves. We need you as parents to help us with these decisions. We are not mature enough to handle the sex that is presented to us in the media by ourselves. And although your teenagers may be responsible or wise enough to watch or hear sex in the media and still be able to abstain from sex until marriage, there are other consequences that it has. It affects our minds as teenagers as well. You cannot watch or hear sex in the media and just be able to discard it. Trust me, I've tried. It's impossible. And although you may not remember exactly what you've seen or exactly what you've heard, sex becomes something that you think about daily if you're continually watching it through the media. In Philippians 4, verse 8, it says, "Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." When we are taking in all of the sex that is given to us in the media, which is not lovely or admirable or pure or praiseworthy, we are thinking about things that God has told us not to, instead of thinking about the things that He wants us to think about. As well, in Colossians chapter 3, verse 2, it says, "Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things." As we watch and hear sex in the media, we're putting our minds on earthly things and not on things above, as God has directed us to do. As a part of human nature, we as teenagers are going to want to watch the movies and the TV shows that are out there that are filled with sex and conversations about sex. And we cannot resist the temptation to do so without your help as parents. We need you. Please do not leave this decision up to